Hello. Wow, that was a grand entrance. I'm so freaking sick with it. What is good? What is good? Happy Sunday. Streaming on a Sunday. I think probably first stream in my whole life. I'm streaming on a goddamn Sunday. Let me know how the picture and how the sound is and everything. Oh, it's weird, the chat. Oh, I'm literally not looking on the right chat thing. So I don't know what anyone is saying. I'm new, guys. I'm freaking new to this. Mic feels quiet. Check, check. Turn the mic up. Picture looks good. Cool. What's up? It's Sunday. What's up, Dragon? Blanket Pal. Kind of got the Sunday off. Not really. I don't really have any days off. But it's kind of a more chill day. I'm just doing things that I need to do today. And you know, I'm always starting it with the chocolate mukbang. Loved your intro. Thank you, bro. That's the vibe. That's the vibe for this year. I'll leave it at that. Turn that TV off for now. Scrogooner67 back at it. If you guys didn't know, I literally have a side page. By the way, always let me know about the audio and the video. It's hard for me to really know. If you guys didn't know, I have a chocolate side page called Chocolate Time with Scro. And I review chocolate because I really love chocolate. Am I addicted to sugar and chocolate? I might be. Right now I'm hitting the Andes Mint. I think I've properly reviewed Andes Mint. They're a low-key, you know, it's good milk chocolate. Or wait, is it dark chocolate? I should know this. That shit ain't even in English. Creme de menthe? Bruh. No mints and protective. Dude, this is not even English. Anyways, Andes mints are good. I like them because they're so small, and I get addicted to chocolate very easily, so it's easy for me to just have like one or two. And I just need a little bit of a sweet thing, you know? I don't need like I don't need a big, you know, 30,000 calorie fucking chocolate sundae as much as I want one. I just need that little piece of sugar to tide me over. So since these are so small, pretty good. After Eights, so fucking good. Way better than Andes, I'm not gonna lie. They are British, so they don't like naturally come in American stores. You have to go to like a world market sort of vibe. I fucking love After Eights. I'm gonna say it. Look, I know I'm a white guy. They're dangerous. What can I say? They're dangerous to have near me. What can I say? Stoked to be streaming on a Sunday. I'm glad there's people kind of coming and hanging out. I actually have a bunch of questions that I'm going to answer today. Someone was doing a college paper and wanted me to answer some questions about being an artist or producer in LA or something like that. So I'm going to sort of hang out, answer some questions. I'm going to be producing a little bit. One of my friends sent me some to remix just for fun. Bloomer, if you guys know him, I figured it'd be fun to do that on stream. That's what's up. Love your work, man. Studying a lot of these tabs and it's been super helpful. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we'll meet one day, Chris Savage. Better addicted to chocolate than meth. When you come to Manchester, UK, I can give you so much chocolate. Let's go. Be on the lookout for that. That's all I'm gonna say. Finally made the stream. Let's go. There's a fantastic bakery too. Orgasmic cake. Pretend I didn't just say that. I ditched calling my friends to watch this stream. Well, there's not too much going on, so please don't ditch your friends. How are you guys? I had a little bit of a session this morning. I'll show you the song that I made. If you could call it that, with I guess I'll call them my friend Coco Joey. I went to a show last night, a really cool spot here in LA, a new spot. and there's two performers that I knew. One was Paracosm, who's kind of an up-and-coming hyperpop, break-ins, but a little bit more bass music heavy artist. Paracosm, super sick. And this other insane artist, Coco Joey from Chicago. It's every genre, as loud and as many as possible. Insane piano player, just cool person. And they're leaving to San Diego this morning, and figured to invite them through to make some music. So I'll show off what that's all about. I'm gonna post the one I'm currently making through my server. Updates on the album. Don't worry about it, brother. It's coming. It is coming. It is coming. That's all my time right now, just so you know. But dates are locked and loaded. Don't you worry your little head. Alright, I'm gonna show off this silly little track we made this morning. Just because it's so fun and silly that I gotta show it off. Let me make sure. It's very crazy, just for the sake of being crazy. I didn't really mix it. We just threw a bunch of fun ideas together, and it's just kind of fun. So let me make sure if I do this. That did not work. No. Let me try this one more time. Shit is always. It's my birthday in 5 days. Happy birthday, dude. Let's go. Happy 3rd birthday. You really made it to the big 1-3, and for that we are so proud of you. Alright, is this shit gonna work, or is my whole stream gonna crash in this bitch? Ah, good lord. Happy B-Day, everyone. Give D-Dragon the biggest happy B-Day you've ever heard in your freaking life, on some real shit, though. Dude, why can't I get my Mac to show up? Technical difficulties, guys. You know I'm a fucking ding-dong when it comes to this. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a ding-dong when it comes to this. I like to think I'm very smart and educated on how all this works. It's just a lot of it just doesn't work. I have so many cables and USB ports that I think it just kind of screws up sometimes. And it's sad. Would you grow out your hair for any reason? No, I can't grow out my hair. I'm going bald. I'm probably going to shave my head soon. Otherwise, I would love to do that. Dude. Alright, I guess no fucking MacBook today. Can we get a hairline reveal? Fuck no. That is never gonna happen. I'm gonna sort of turn everything off of my computer and do a little unplug, replug in. Eject that. You can see the hairline. I mean, literally, this is technically a hairline, but why do you think I've been wearing a hat my whole life? I think he'll suit shaved head. When, not if, when I do shave my head. Or maybe I'll get a fucking hair transplant. Who knows, dude? Who knows? I'll just keep them all guessing. But I do not have a crispy hairline. I'd have to shave it all to the scalp, you know, because if you don't have a good hairline, I mean, whatever. You can get really good hair transplants, it looks like. I can. Yeah, I've been told there's even some places that I know some people who have gotten really good ones, and they're like, oh, dude, you have enough followers? Just hit them up and they'll do it for free. Just make a couple posts about it. And I'm like... But then there's the whole thing of like, is that me? You know, like, am I someone that is the type of person to be like, you know, I mean, I guess that I am insecure. I mean, I am insecure about it for sure, but I don't know if that's what I'm trying to get at right now. It's more like, sorry, I'm trying to fucking fix this shit. It's just more like, do I just rock it and be like, fuck it, this is the hand I was dealt, let me just be me, you know? That's what it comes down to, like, not being, like, that's not me, you know? Like, getting a hair transplant is literally not me. It's fake. I'm, like, doing something that isn't me. But then again, so is getting tattoos, you know? Like, it's just another body modification that is something that would make me happy and confident in who I am. So I don't know. It's becoming more acceptable. It's not like I would be embarrassed that I did it, but it's just like my own internal, like, do I really want to be someone who did that and who wasn't like comfortable just like being like, fuck it? I don't know. What is everyone saying? You can think of it as having more hair gives you more style. Exactly. I have no options. My only option is to wear a fucking hat. And that's just like creatively and like expressively puts a cap on how I can express myself. I would love to have like a big fucking mullet, shaggy mullet type of thing. Like that would be so cool. Enjoy being part of here. Would you mind adding me on Discord? Yeah, you can hit me on the Discord. Is this you being worried about your perception you get from other people rather than what you actually want? Like, yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, that's why I wear a hat. Because I am not comfortable with my hair. And this makes me more confident and secure because I'm not thinking about it. And I'm not thinking about anyone else thinking about it, you know? So if I just shave my head, I either shave my head and then I don't have to think about it. And it's just like, okay, I'm bald. Whatever. Or I fucking get a hair transplant and then I'm like, okay, now I'm going to look fucking insane for like 3 months. And then I'll look weird for like a year. But then I'll be like so happy and so stoked with my life, with my, you know, just going out and being me. And there's so many like, you know, big artists who do that, which I don't mean to use someone else's life to validate my own, but that is exactly why I just said that. And, you know, it is what it is. Dude, what the fuck? Why isn't this working? Okay, I'm just gonna play the song, I guess, which is really sad. Here is the song me and Coco Joey made this morning in about a couple hours. I wish I could show you the audio, but it's just piano chords at first and then it gets wacky. Oh no, my camera died. Fuck. Hold on. Sorry. This is so weird that my camera died and now that that's happening. Dude, I just wanted a good stream today. You know, I just wanted a good... Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Jeez. You know, we always gotta fuck around for 3 hours before we actually start the stream. I think the problem is that there is a filter on here. My bad. Can y'all still hear me? Check, check, check. Yeah. I thought you just disappeared. It just worked. Like, y'all saw that, right? I just changed the shit to the other shit. DSLR. Man, this is so annoying when I do this. Okay, there's my screen. Like, I don't know why this doesn't just work every time. It's like, I have to reset everything. I can't just be like, okay, time to stream. It's like, I have to go change the settings and then change them back. This makes no fucking sense. Ah! Ba-da-da-da-da. Where's the hide, unhide? I'm looking for the filters on this bitch. Filters, edit filters. Oh my god. Dude, I'm gonna end it. I don't know why I can change one thing but not the other, so I'm just gonna add a source, video capture, and it's gonna be this. Oh my gosh. I am going to stab myself in the motherfucking neck. I hate this stupid shit. I always make it work, and then a single hour later it says I don't wanna work. My god, bro. Is this gonna have to be how I share my fucking screen? Let's just do this. And I can't be on it. I'm sorry, guys. This is really annoying. I wanna be a real proper streamer, and this shit fucking really bothers me. I just want to have a nice fluid stream. People could come hang out. Oh my god. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna delete that. I'm going to add the video capture and add a new source. Sure. And we are gonna do this. Thank you, you fucking ding dong. Silly ass, stupid ass. I got it to work. Sheesh Louise. Alright. The stream is still up there, by the way. Okay. I am going to open up Reaper and show this fucking song now that I had to. It's so annoying. Sorry guys. Alright, let's see what this is all about. Here is the Coco Joey Scro random track. Spooky metal, you know? Alright, stupid but fun. Who knows if anything will come out of that, but I did enjoy it. Okay, enough of that. I think we are done being silly, and we're gonna get into the real. Wait, what was I doing? Oh yeah, Scrofy. So I'm gonna answer some questions. Someone back to a little bit more proper sort of tune. Someone from a college or something. Time for a mixtape of all these random creations. I don't know about that. We know how sound is, but oops, I wish I had a better way of having like a Okay. So I'm gonna answer some questions that someone asked me about some university questions or whatever, and I asked him if I could talk about this on stream. And he said it was okay. So I'm gonna do this on stream. Yo, thanks for the sub. Anne Frank. Dude, is that Anne Frank? Is that the Anne Frank? Okay, so I'm just gonna copy and paste these and sort of make my own little doc, and I'll answer these with y'all. Okay. Probably can't really see much of that. And actually we'll do this one, which of course that doesn't fucking work because it's a different scene and all this shit. So we're gonna add a source. Oh my god, my shit's freezing. Oh my god. Oh my god, my shit's freezing, bro. My shit's for real freezing. Okay. How irritated can my computer make me today? We'll find out, guys. We will find out. We are finding out. We are genuinely finding out right now. Okay. And, oh, frick. Alright, got some questions. Answering some questions. This should be fine for what's going on right now. Okay, thanks for sticking with me, guys. Yeesh. Okay, can you turn the music down? Yeah. Faux show. Boink. Okay. This first question here. Firstly, can you describe your background as a musician producer and what type of music you create? My background as a musician producer, well, I grew up as a classical musician, playing cello in middle school and joining the youth orchestra band, the community youth orchestra band. Then you know, my dad was really into rock and metal, stuff like that. Like, he got me into Pantera. And I don't create music at all, but the level of skill you have is incredible. So I love to learn and watch. Yeah, I'm gonna end up like making some music toward the end, but just kind of answering some questions right now. My dad was really into rock and metal, and then I picked up guitar. And here, I'm just gonna answer it to you guys, and I'll have like a shorter response for them. And the guy can always come back to the stream if he wants. My background as a musician. Yeah, grew up a classical musician. Started playing guitar in middle school as well. My dad was really into like rock and metal, and so I got into like Metallica and all that, and I taught myself. I was already, you know, to be honest, pretty like naturally good at cello. My dad was a musician, not professionally, but he played drums. And then so when I picked up guitar, you know, and cello, it just, you know, I was pretty good at it, considering, especially looking back now, being a 12-year-old, literally like 12 years old, being able to like pick up a guitar and learn one. You know, I understood rhythms, and I understood how to read music really well. All that stuff. And then, long story short, finishing out high school, I was in the worship band, playing guitar or drums or piano. I was in a fiddler's group. I was really fiddling on the cello. I had learned to play violin during that time as well. I was in the jazz band, playing guitar. I was like the section leader, doing all of the whatever, just doing the combo stuff, reading jazz charts and improvising over that stuff. I was in the worship band. I was in the youth worship band at the church. And then wonder if this is the guy who was asking these questions. The youth worship band. I was in my own metal band, which was like my fucking life, the same way how Scro is now. I had my other project was called Thug, and it was instrumental progressive metal, like the most inaccessible music you could ever, not ever, but it was just like shredding. So by the time I finished high school, I was very involved in a lot of different ensembles, metal, contemporary rock, doing worship, or symphonic, orchestral, classical, jazz, pop. Okay, so I was like very much like a talented instrumentalist. Did you ever play Chain Reaction? I did. I played a couple years ago on my tour with Makari. Yeah, it's me who sent the questions. Oh, do you want me to answer? Yeah, you wanted me to answer them for real. Sorry if I'm gonna take so long because I'm streaming. So like, I'm just gonna take up time. No one's gonna stop me. As a producer, what type of music do you create? Okay, and then I was like very anti-electronic music until I got into college. When Skrillex was really big in like 2010, 11, 12 or whatever, just completely did not give a fuck about that. Like, it was electronic music. I thought it was very lowbrow. It was stupid to me. They weren't playing instruments. They weren't playing instruments live. They were just pressing play. I was like almost disgusted that this was like a type of music that existed and that people like really loved it. It was for like club people to drink to, and people who like didn't really care about music. They just wanted like doof, doof, doof. That's what I thought at the time. The Bill Clinton LimeWire dubstep track is a throwback. Okay, so the thing is when I finished high school, one of my friends invited me to see a big dubstep guy at the time, because he had free tickets for whatever reason. And what's the song? And the cracks begin to show. Dubstep song. Flux Pavilion. So I saw Flux Pavilion, and he was like partying up at the front, blah blah, and I was just in the back, with my arms crossed, not being a jerk, but I was just like, my friend invited me to something free, I'll go hang out with him, whatever. And I was like, whoa, someone made all that. Like, someone dead ass sat down and like made all these sounds and put them together. And I was making like hip hop beats for my friends and other like stupid little electronic ideas, honestly. But just like pop music and dubstep and all that, I was like, this is fucking dumb. Went to college for music. I have a degree. It's just a general BA in music from Florida State University. It was a classical guitar focused. And then I took a couple classes for production and engineering. That's what I really wanted to go to school for at the time. I was recording bands in high school and engineering and producing, for bands, whatever that means. Engineering, basically. And I got more into electronic music just because I got into synthesizers. I'm from Florida. I'm from Sarasota, Florida. What's weird is that I wasn't into electronic music. I was just into synthesizers. And I was like very hyper fixated on every synth that was coming out and how to make these certain sounds. I wanted to make a very specific sound that's so simple and stupid to make, but I just loved it. It was this. But I wanted to do it with gear. I got serum up here. Is this shit on? Turn that bitch off. I really wanted to. Okay, so if I do this, I would just go to the amp. I just loved this sound. And I would want to do these like, okay, so I put it onto the filter, whatever. I'd want to do like, whatever, like type shit. And of course I'd be really into really pretty chords. Like that type of sound, just like really simple. I don't know why I was like so obsessed with it. I would just want to make that type of sound on every synth. And of course, eventually that led me into dance music, pop music. And then by the end of my degree, there's a course I took that was just independent study or whatever, where you just tell your professor, like, this is what I want to like fucking focus on forever. And it was pop music. So at the time it was Chainsmokers and Disclosure and Sam Smith and Adele. And I basically remade the songs and then made my own song based off of the production and songwriting of those songs. Incredibly helpful. Genuinely the fastest and easiest way to get better at making music. It's time consuming and it's not fun, unless it is fun for you, which it kind of was for me. But if you're able to like fucking put your nose in your computer and remake a song, remake a pop song as close as you can, you learn a lot about arrangement, you learn a lot about simple sound design and things like that. And then I was really into pop music and dance music, and then I was, what really got me into like EDM, the time I was finally comfortable saying I like EDM was Porter Robinson and Zedd, in that like, 2016 Worlds era. And then I got into San Holo and all this stuff, and I basically like denounced playing guitar, actually, because I was like, even though I was able to play guitar the same way I can now in high school too, like I was really good. I had a very unique style and everyone knew me as like, a great whatever. My wife loves the album you produced for Julia Wolf. Thank you so much. We got more in the works. Glad you like it. So we're both very proud of that. We made it right here in my room. But anyways, so yeah, I ended up getting into dance music and EDM. I basically put down the guitar and I was just making EDM. San Holo kind of inspired me to pick up the guitar and put it all together. And then I was hanging out with all these DJs and bass kids, and I would pick up a guitar and they'd be like, "You're really fucking good. Why are you not playing guitar in your music?" I was like, "Yeah, you're right." And then break-ins came along and I was like, this is how I put it together with all the hyperpop and stuff. Can you make videos of how you made all the songs on Julia Wolf's Pressure album? I did make one for In My Room, so check that out. But I have to do it. I want you to think. Still waiting for Scroll album. It's coming. It's coming, I promise. Okay, so that is my background as a musician producer. I moved to LA, wanted to be an engineer. I hated it. Ended up wanting to just make my own music. So that's what I did. I was teaching for a really long time. I actually just quit my teaching job a couple weeks ago, finally. And now I just produce music and make music for myself. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, I've always been like, Scro was always my priority. It is always my priority. And but to make money, I would produce music for other people as well, and here and there I make music, whatever, blah blah blah. Of course, the Julia Wolf thing like really changed my life, but my priority is always going to be my music and Julia's stuff. The In My Room video you made was awesome. Will you make more from the album? Probably not. But I could do like breakdowns on stream though. That could be fun. What are your thoughts on the Too Dumb remixes? They're sick. They're really fun. They're cool guys. From the EP you made with Underbelly, let's go. There's some posts in the art channel if you scroll. Okay, so, and then what type of music do I create? I don't know. I make dance music, I make hyperpop, I make alternative, I make metal, I make bass music, I really don't know how to describe it. It's just Scro. You know, I think people who like hyperpop will probably like my music. People who like metal and alternative music will probably like my music. That's about it. So, a very simple way to say this: can you describe your background as a musician? Grew up as a classical musician, learning cello, guitar, violin, piano, drums, percussion. My dad was a musician, and both my parents always advocated for my music and creativity. I went to school for classical guitar and audio production, and I make metal adjacent metal adjacent post hyper pop bass music. No, I'll say Midwest metal adjacent post hyper pop shoegaze bass music. Sure. And then make the streams public. Yeah, the streams are always public. Okay, that was fucking question number 1. What is your current recording mixing environment, and what kind of equipment do you use when producing? Well, if you're watching the stream, here we are. This is my bedroom. That's my bed where I sleep every night. And here is my studio. Here's everything I use. I have a laptop. This is the laptop I'm streaming on. This is actually the laptop that I produced Pressure on. The whole album was produced on this. It's a Samsung Galaxy. Hopefully the stream doesn't die if I do this. It's a Samsung Galaxy Flip something or other. I bought this MacBook maybe a little less than a year ago. The interface I use is it's sitting right here, which now the angle's getting really weird. It's a UA Audio Volt. Okay, nothing special. A lot of the Pressure album was actually produced with one of those Focusrites. I couldn't tell you exactly which one. The only reason I got the UA Volt is because people will make fun of you if you walk into a studio and you have a UA Volt and you have a Focusrite. So whatever. I did find my charger. It was in my guitar case. I'm a fucking ding dong. It was just in my guitar bag. This is the microphone that I use to record vocals and guitar on. This is what Julia's Pressure album was made on. Samson CO2. It's actually a drum overhead. You can only buy it in a pair because it's drum overheads. It's a pencil condenser. I think it's about $67. And it sounds great. I love it. Let me make sure this shit is still... Check. Yeah, let me know how audio is, by the way. I use these focal monitors. I think they're this 5-inch. What's up, Grant? And I use Reaper for my software. There is some software that I bought to use. I use a lot of Serum. I use a lot of resampling with Splice. I use my guitars, of course. This is kind of the guitar sound that a lot of people know me for, my unique Scro sound. This is my first guitar I ever bought. And this is the guitar I learned to play guitar on. It's got a lot of what do I say? Spirit with me. It's Ibanez Geo from 2007. Sam Ash in Sarasota. That is now closed down. And then this is my 7-string from Legator, who I am endorsed by, but I do endorse this guitar. It's super smooth, super light, 7-string. I played in drop A. Love this one. Hopefully I'll be getting another one from them soon. And then the acoustic that I use is this, which was also given to me by Orangewood as a brand deal, but I heavily endorse this. It is one of my favorite acoustic guitars I've ever played, and it's their cheapest model somehow. They invited me to their store in Santa Monica, and they said, here's our guitars, take whatever you want. And I was like, okay. I played all of them, and I said, I like this one. They said, you sure? That's our cheapest guitar. It's only $300. And I said, yeah, I like the way this sounds and feels the best. I don't know what to tell you. If I liked the one that was $3,000, I would have picked that one, but I wouldn't have liked it. This is the Orangewood Morgan MNBL. This is what in my room was recorded on. But I know a string's about to break. I don't know what. Oh. Oh. You'd think I'd have a fucking tuner. So I recorded that right here in this microphone. And some of the other plugins that I use some of the Slate stuff for my vocal processing. Here's my vocal chain. I use a lot of this program called MAME. It's a free Lossy plugin. Yeah, got some tuning, virtual mix rack, 2 compressors on there, a lot of stock Reaper stuff. And then I always try and like fuck up my sounds a lot. I have this free plugin I found on Twitter called MAME, whatever. And yeah, I don't have a treated room or anything. I'm in the corner of my room, which is really bad for mixing and all that. But these are the headphones I mix with. Sennheiser, I don't know what they are. HD 200 Pros. I've been mixing on these for probably a decade now. Not that exact pair. Those are probably 2 years new at this point. Use any waves? No. Yeah, a lot of OTT as well. How's the collab working with John Summit and Julia Wolf? It was awesome. He flew. Julia was already in Florida with her boyfriend Tanner between tours or something. And John Summit's team wanted to work with Julia. And of course, you know, Julia wanted me to be there. So John's team flew me out, and we had a session there in Miami with him. He's a really cool guy. He loves music. He loves partying. He's a cool guy. He's genuinely just like a cool, chill guy. What was interesting is that he cared a lot about the song, so like the lyrics. In the industry, when we say the song, we mean the melody and the lyrics, as opposed to the production, which is all the instruments. We thought he would care a lot more about the beat and the production because he's John Summit, makes dance music. But it's kind of cool that he was wanting to write the song with us. So we basically wrote the whole song over like a random splice loop. We were trying to make like some ideas here and there just to write over, and nothing was really jiving with all of us. So I ended up just writing a song over a random splice loop. Finished the song. I took it back to my place that night. Made just completely, scratched the loop, of course, and made what you heard today. Actually, the first version was not. I didn't really like. Well, no one really liked that much. And then the next morning, I gave it another go. I was listening to I was crate digging on SoundCloud for some inspiration, and then I made the version that you hear today, and everyone really liked it, so it was cool. Yeah, John is really cool. C is Scro Gooner. But that's what's up. So my current recording mixing environment, in my untreated bedroom, I have a pair of, let me see, what are they, 3-inch focals monitors. I don't know if they're focals or focals. Is it 4-inch? That looks kind of like what I have. Alpha 50. That looks about right. Yeah, we'll just say it's 4. We'll say I think it's 5. Untreated, I have a pair of Focal Alpha 50 4-inch monitors. Currently using a MacBook M4 Air. I use Reaper and a Volt 2 UA audio interface. Mix reference on, and I did mix and master Julia's record as well. I don't think it's the best listening back to it. I definitely could have done better, but it's got a certain vibe to it that a lot of people like. HD 200 Pros. That's it. My guitars, I have an Ibanez Geo from 2007. I have the Legator, I think it's called the SS7 or maybe NS7. I don't know. I don't remember which one that is. And then the Orangewood MNBL or something like that. And that's it. I recently got this Bass 6. It is a Squire, whatever, Bass 6. Yeah, Squire 6 bass for heavy stuff. I use THU overloud for most rock guitar tones. OTT only, as in I don't use anything else except just put OTT on the dry signal for clean tones. I'll say for the Scro tone, clean tone, and then I use Neural DSP Fortin Nameless for very gent metal tone. That's pretty much it. Still waiting for Letter to hook you up with a new bass. Yeah, I'm sure I could ask them. They would just give me one. I don't know why I can make this. Okay, so that was number 2. I am going to use the restroom really quick. So I will be right back. Peace. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Question 3. Hopefully you guys can still checkity check. The Mac audio is not playing anything. And I'm gonna hide this. I'm getting used to how this stuff works now. Is that welcome back or are we back? We can hear you. Okay. 3. What made you begin producing music with a home personal studio environment? Genuinely, I don't mean to be rude. How else do I start producing music? Am I supposed to have access to like a huge studio or something? I wanted to make music. I have a computer. That's it. I don't know how else to answer that question. What made you begin producing music with a home personal studio environment? I have no other choice but to make music in my bedroom. I guess maybe the question asker is sort of implying like, you know, if you're in a band and you're like, yeah, university studios. I mean, I did have a university studio as well in college that we had access to, but yeah, like I wanted to make music, so I would, you know, the first mixer I ever bought was like, it wasn't even an interface, it was a fucking mixer. That's how much I didn't know what I was doing. I bought a mixer, not an interface, when I started making music. We have a big studio here. Yeah, well, I mean, I started making music in elementary school, so like maybe that's a better way to say that. And again, sorry if I was being rude. I was trying to be a little bit silly, but I come off as mean when I do that. I started making music in elementary school, you know, like recording, you know, doing GarageBand beats, you know, and I would make the beats and then I'd have my friends sing on it. So we used the mic in the computer to sing on it, you know, like, and there was nothing about that was like not, of course it wasn't as nice as it could be, but like we were making music, like whatever. I got in middle school, I started really wanting to record my own metal music, so I bought at the time it was a Behringer. It was like a 6-channel. It was four preamps, but it was 6-channel somehow because of the line in or whatever. And I would put I bought a bunch of drum mics and I'd put them in there and I'd try to record that. And you know, that's what I did. I started making music when I was really young. My high school had a studio. True, my high school did not have anything like that. You had like a video department. Behringer Euphoria. It was like Behringer Xenix mixer or something. Here it is. This is Scro's first mixer ever. Yeah, and I just plugged it in and tried to get the mix in the mixer as good as possible on the terrible drum set my dad had, in the terrible room my dad had. Of course it sounded terrible. Like, I don't know what I was expecting. But that's like where I was starting. Like, I genuinely had no one to help me. YouTube like kind of helped me, but like again, I didn't buy an interface. Like, I'm just stupid. I'm a stupid, like, you know, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, just being like, that's what they have in the movies, so I'm gonna get that. And like, I learned all this stuff on my own, you know. So yeah. Number 4. In what way does working in this type of space influence the creative process and workflow in creating music? I have 15 interfaces. I have 4. I have a Volt 2, a Volt 4, a Focusrite, and then an interface called a Pyrex that I got off Amazon for something that I didn't end up needing anyways. Okay, I have sort of an existential question. Existential answer for this. And this is very much me, but you're asking me. I still remember you recording Mystery. Oh, dude, that's what I was gonna say. That there was a band that I recorded in that mixer. And there he is, Dylan, in your bedroom back in early high school, man. You've been doing this shit. Shouts out Dylan, literally the first band I ever recorded. Do you remember the deal I gave you, Dylan? I need you to write this if you remember it or not. I'm not going to say it if you guess it wrong or right. I'll let you know once you guess. But that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to record music. And I remember them having a meeting about who they need to go to and record. And it was, a high school band, whatever. It's 4 kids in a band or something like that. I remember telling him, I'll give you this. This is the deal. This is what I'll charge you to record your music. I remember, because looking back, it was insane, but I didn't care because I just want to make music. Well, if he does respond, I am going to say this. In what way does working in this type of space influence the creative process and workflow in creating music? I'm not going to go super into it. My safe space in my life has always been my bedroom, which is not weird or normal, it's most people. I don't think I remember anything specific. I'm super curious. The deal I gave this band is, for $20, I will record anything for you forever. That was it. Not one song for $20, not one session for $20. It was $20, I'll record whatever you want forever. And I'm sorry to say, Dylan, I will be cutting that deal off immediately right now. So if anything comes up, might be $20 a track now. I'm just kidding. I wonder if you still have that music. That would be crazy. It sounded terrible. Not because of you, because of me. So my safe space is in my bedroom. It always has been. I think it always will be. Soon, actually within the next couple weeks, I will be converting this room, my bedroom, into a studio. The whole thing will be a studio. And then the other bedroom where my roommate's in, he's moving out, that will be my bedroom. So I'll have the whole apartment, and this will be the studio. I am genuinely worried that will disturb my creative process or my creative curation, aesthetic, talent, whatever you want to say, because I feel so me. I feel like I'm really able to lean into myself when I am here in my bedroom. No matter where else I am in the world, it's really difficult for me to truly feel like I am locked in. Now, I can kind of get to that space mentally. I could always reverse. Yeah, but the whole reason I'm turning this into a studio is so when I have sessions, there's 4 people that want to come to the room, there's room for that. And also, I'm 31 years old, bro. Like, I am a professional. I have a gold record. Okay, I shouldn't be producing in my bedroom. It's time to change things. Sometimes I'm able to get into that mode when would it not work in the other? This room's bigger, so the bigger room's definitely gonna be the studio. I don't really care about my bedroom. I just need somewhere to go to sleep at night. I can sometimes get into that mode when I have headphones in and I'm somewhere else. But when I'm with other people, I'm never gonna be. I might be hitting like 85% of what I think, maybe 75% of what I think is really true, like scroll, grade, level, integrity, whatever. And other people might be like, it's perfect, I love it, which is great. But for me, like, I don't feel like I'm really manifesting my true, like, artistic integrity unless I'm right here in my bedroom. So that's how it influences it. Wait, what does that mean? You can have a drum set in your apartment? I could, but I'm not gonna play it. That was the most annoying answer I could have given you. I live in an apartment complex. There's families around me, so a drum set would be too loud. Bring the bed to the top. Thanks for the follow, J Kid. So to answer that, in what ways does working in this type of space influence the creative process and workflow when creating music? I am most comfortable in my home, in my bedroom. I don't feel like myself creatively when I am anywhere else, at least not 100% of the way there. Being in a big studio feels, what's the word that people say when everything's like really white and boring? Sterile. Feels sterile and lifeless. That's it. You just rent out a different studio whenever you track live drums. I don't track live drums. Even E-kits are considered loud in apartments. Yeah, like I might be able to get away with an E-kit. I thought about it, but it also is more room that would take away from just the space of having people in here. Okay. Number 5. Do you feel like you have more creative freedom in a more personal environment as opposed to a commercial studio? Yes. I feel like you could just refer to the answer before. I'll say if it's not my space, it won't feel like home. It's hard for me to be truly creative when I'm not in my home / den / bedroom / safe space. Liberals in their safe spaces, you know? Yeah. That's it. What practical factors influence your choice to work in this environment? Is it cost, time, or equipment? Practical factors, well, yeah, I guess I wonder if I was 12 years old when I first started making, and my dad just happened to have like a nice studio, if I would be working in there, because then I wouldn't be the cost, wouldn't be the time, wouldn't be the equipment. What is this document for? Someone just emailed me. They're a college student looking to have a producer answer some questions. I also got a DM recently, something similar, so I'm going to kind of fish through that and talk about that as well. Practical factors influence your choice. It's hard for me to answer that because I want to be here. I want to be in this room doing it. I would say it's free. It costs nothing. All the software I use is very cheap or very free, and I enjoy using it. I am happy, fulfilled, fast, very practical, and quick everything with the gear and everything that I use. If I am anywhere else, let's say comfort is the answer. There's 2 studios that I go to commonly that my publisher has. There's one in Hollywood, there's one in Santa Monica. I go once, maybe twice a week. I have to lug my guitars there. I'm using a different interface, I'm using different mics. They have me going through the outboard gear with the compressors, and I've never like sat there and really like dialed in the tones with the compressors because we're like creating music. I can't be like, hold on guys, let's do like 30 takes and let me really dial this compressor in, and then they get louder and then I'm like, oh, now we need to dial in this next verse because you're louder. It's like, I'm not going to do that. We need to be like as quick as possible. So it's kind of annoying, honestly, to have this like really nice tube mic that I have to wait to heat up, and then all these like analog preamps and compressors that they go in. So it's just like, just plug it into a fucking UA, into a Focusrite. I don't care, dude. Just get the mic into the computer and let's record. Like, I care more about the room, that the room is dead, more than the mic being really good. I can always put a little high shelf on it, cut the lows, DS, compress, whatever. But if it's like very reverby in the room, that's going to be hard to get a good sound. That's my experience. Of course, I'd rather not use a dynamic mic to record vocals, but sometimes there's this artist I've been working with who records everything in an SM7B. I hate it. That's what she likes to do. Whatever. Hey, you look busy on this, so I won't try to interrupt it, but it would be nice to see a vocal chain breakdown. And post-process screams, that's an interesting word for you to use. You guys should keep that phrase in the back of your head this year, post-process. Vocal chain breakdown. Yeah, remind me if you're still here when I'm done with this. I can do that. It's really simple. It's just compression and distortion, but a lot of it. So to answer that question, what practical factors influence your choice to work in this environment? Well, I would say speed, comfortability, familiarity. There's really no reason. The only reason that I do go to other studios and don't say, no, I'm doing a studio in my home studio, is because it's not big enough to have a lot of people, and it just doesn't feel professional to having a big art. Let's say fucking Post Malone wanted to do a session. Dude, I can't do that here. He's Post Malone. You know, like, he's gonna want to feel comfy. You know, that's what his standard is gonna be, and it should be. He might have a songwriter. He might have like a posse coming and hanging out with him, like some vibe guys. I don't have room for all of that. But these other bigger studios, there's at least room to hang out in. That's what those studios are for me. The gear and equipment there, genuinely so fucking annoying to deal with. I just want to, if it was up to me, I could do this. It would be kind of shitty. I have an assistant, like a production engineer assistant that prints stems for me and other, you know, tech stuff for me, not with clients, you know, like on my computer, besides the fact. I could be like, yo, get all of my gear, my interface, my mics, put them up, go to the studio with me, and hook it up for me so we don't have to fucking worry about any of that. I would love to do that. It feels very prissy to do that, and obviously I have to fucking spend money on my assistant doing that just because I'm being a little baby about it. But that's the only reason that I wouldn't want to record in my room, is for the space. Okay. How has access to modern... a lot of... Thanks. You can just go for it when you feel it too. I guess you can just... I don't know what you're saying. How has access to... Do you also want us to remind you of breakdowns too of the Pressure album? Yeah, remind me. I mean, I try to stream, you know, for 3 hours or so. I'm already doing something else on here, so I probably won't do a breakdown of this, but maybe next stream I'll do that. How has access to modern technology, such as DAWs, plugins, and cheaper recording equipment helped your ability for you to work? I guess if I really think about it, it is of the utmost importance to me that this stuff exists for me. If I had, I mean, not even thinking about reel to reel. I don't even want to fucking do anything with that. But, you know, like I'm saying, when I am in those bigger studios, like when I had the session with Julia and Kellen Quinn in Portland a couple months ago, we're at this really big studio, and it takes all this time to get your computer to hook up to the speakers, and then the mic, and get into the compressors with the patch bay, and it takes like 10-15 minutes just to get a microphone working. And it's like, guys, we are wasting time like trying to create here, you know. Oh no, my shit, hold up, I think my thing here screwed up. So yeah, I care about speed. You know, speed is very important to me. Not that now let me make a huge caveat to this. Not because I make music that I want to make it as fast as possible, that I'm like, let's just fucking make the song already, blah, blah, blah. It's that all those minutes, even seconds, that slow down the creative process is time taken away from the flow state of making music and creating. You know what I'm saying? Shortcuts. I love shortcuts on Reaper. There's a couple of things that I do a lot that would take 3 or 4 seconds to do, and now I can do it in a second. And my idea in my head, I can do it faster now. You know, I can get it into the computer faster. And I think that's like my MO in making music at this point. And I think a lot of people see that in me as well and are championing that, advocating that, and are very happy to see a successful producer doing things very simply and very easy, because I know that what's important is getting the creative idea out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, You want as few roadblocks between you having an idea and getting onto a track. Yeah, exactly. So if you have a fucking tube amp and then it's going into this analog thing and then it's going to the compressor and you got to figure that out and put it in your computer and then you got to get the headphones right and got to make sure we get the sound check. It's like, dude, it's been 30 minutes and the artist has been ready to sing her lyrics. That's going to take 2 minutes. Now it's taking 32 minutes to do something that takes 2 minutes. And now the vibe is off and now we're fucking whatever, you know, like. So I will say, how has it helped me? Helped with speed. And I'm just going to say what Grant said. You want as few roadblocks between you having an idea and getting it onto a track. I'm going to say infinitely with speed. But I can't overstate that enough, but I also am not just going to blabber on about it. Helped infinitely with speed. You want as few roadblocks as possible between you and... Okay. What are some of the challenges or limitations you have experienced, and in what ways have you worked around them? I don't know, question asker, if you're still here. I assume you mean when it comes to recording in my bedroom studio, considering that's what all these questions have been about, because I could talk about my challenges of possible neurodivergence. You know, is that part of this? Should I talk about my height being a challenge and what have I worked around them? Should I talk about my hairline being a challenge and how I've worked around them? Maybe I should talk around that my family lives on the other side of the country and how that's been challenging for me. Sorry, I'm trying to be silly. Vertically challenged, for real. I'm going to answer this assuming that that's what this question asker is asking about. In what ways have you worked around them? Space. I don't have enough space to have a proper session in my bedroom. You are a silly Billy. I don't have enough space to have a proper session in my bedroom. Most sessions are I'll say 2 to 5 people in total, and my bed takes up a lot of space. Having a bigger room is always helpful to fit more people in, but only for that reason. So for me, the way I've gotten around that, I do have access to those big studios now, so that's cool. But I have a couch in here, and I sort of rearrange my room and try to get the most bang for my buck with the square footage in here. Putting the couch right against the bed. That's pretty common in bedroom situations. Get as big couch as you can, put it right against the bed, and you could fit 2 more people sitting on the couch. So I can comfortably get three people, including me. So me, an artist and a songwriter, or me, an artist and another producer. That's how I got around it. I put a couch in my bedroom. It kind of feels fun, like having a couch in here or whatever. I put a couch in here. The other thing is I do have these sound panels, which have helped a lot. And that is, I don't have a vocal booth. I used to, my closet was a vocal booth at one time, but the early reflections and the whatever, it actually wasn't good at all. It was worse. You'd be surprised how many people just record vocals just out in the room, you know, no vocal isolation. It would be nice to have that, but it's not like necessary. The room's pretty treated. I hear like a weird early reflection, like a weird phasing in here, but as long as you're not loud, you're not really gonna hear those because they're not gonna be loud going back to you. So I would say having sound panels helps. Sound panels helps get rid of reverb in the room for a cleaner vocal recording. Split Shock, what's up? Thanks for the follow. I'm currently working with a vocalist who's singing on one of my songs. Sick. I assume you are making like dance music and you have a featured singer. I'm used to doing everything myself. What's your process for recording, writing with artists? So off the bat, I'm curious if are you writing the lyrics for them? Are you writing the lyrics together? Is she just or are they just writing the lyrics and then you're just recording them, or are they writing the lyrics and then you're like kind of moving things around a little bit and then kind of editing them together? Are you recording them? Is she going to a studio and recording them, or are they going to be sitting right next to you and recording them with you? But I guess you're asking me what's your process for recording, writing with artists. I'll give you two situations. One is a Scro thing, and then one is me producing for someone else. Let's say a session with Julia. Above all, this is not going to be quite what you're asking for, but when I talk about my own stuff, it will. Above all, if I'm producing for an artist, they have final say in everything. Okay, I'm not the type of producer who says we need to do this. I'm the producer. Everything goes through my filter, and I make all the decisions that I want, kind of without asking. And as soon as someone says, "Nah, I don't like that," I say, "Okay, we don't do it. It's not my song. It's not my song." They just need someone that they trust in creatively to make their vision come to life, or maybe they need a little bit more of like a creative diversity, and they're coming to me to do some weird, wacky shit. So when it comes to recording, I just have them right there, singing to the CO2. Everyone records differently. If it's up to me, like if I'm gonna vocal produce and like run the vocal part of it, I'm gonna do like section by section, maybe line by line, and try and get 4 or 5 takes. If we need more, we'll keep doing more. We'll do 10, 20, 30 takes until we get the right part, get it to sound right, and then we'll comp it really quick. It's very easy to comp in Reaper. So we'll comp it really quick, make sure it sounds good. Just move on to the sections. Then I can take doubles very easily with all the other takes. Takes maybe 5 seconds to duplicate the track, and then just hit the next take for all of the takes. Then I have a double, I Haas effect them, and then we'll go and do harmonies. I really love doing harmonies, so we'll go and do harmonies like that. When it comes to writing, that's just recording lyrics that have already been written. When it comes to writing with an artist for their stuff, I am a writer. I do like doing lyrics, and I definitely like doing melodies. But, we'll sit there and have a Google Drive doc open and kind of be writing ideas, talking about it, singing through different melodies. I think is super helpful is just passing a mic around, just looping a section that we're trying to write to, and just pass the mic around and just whatever. Scatting, some fun melodies, and then someone in the room will be like, "Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. Oh, let's change this. So then maybe we'll have a melody that we stick with, and then we see, is there any lyrics that might like feel good to sing with this, or is there a certain story that we really want to go along with? So there's that. For my stuff, I usually don't work with other artists for my own stuff, but I did just release a song with this band True North, Can't Run Away. And they're a whole ass band, and I'm just one guy. So Scro collab with True North, it's interesting because they're a band and it's just me as one person. But I like to start with production, so me and the guitarist kind of produce some stuff. Might have wrote a little bit of a top line over it, and then we got some more guys from the band to come in and try and write lyrics and more melodies. And it was, writing is a different thing than recording. If the singer's up to just recording the lyrics right then and there, cool, but usually it's just like scratch demo vocals while you're getting the writing down, because you want to feel good about all of the writing before you take the time to really sit there and fucking lock in on the vocals and warm up and all that stuff. So that's what it is. Be open. You are working with someone else. I assume you want to work with them if you're working with them at all. Maybe not, but the second you bring someone else in the room and you're inviting them in the room, or you're being invited into the room, there is a give and take, and you know, you can be honest about your opinion. I think everyone should be honest and open about their creative ideas, but also be okay with taking a back seat sometimes and letting someone else's creative vision come to life. I think if you're collabing with anyone, it's never going to feel like your song, and I don't think it's supposed to. It's supposed to feel like you've given up some control and let someone else sort of fill those gaps. So keep that in mind, and I'd say have fun with that. Sometimes it's relieving to let go of some of that control, even though it is your art and your baby, but that's just part of the collaborative process. Okay, we got 2 more questions with this. Number 9, how would you compare the experience between a commercial studio and your current personal setup if you have worked in one before? What do you prefer? Main differences is that they're bigger, so it's a little bit more physically comfortable to all hang out in, rather than, you know, 3 people being right here and just being closer to each other. It just feels a little bit more confrontational and less open. So being in a big studio is nice. And then, of course, like I said, the annoying parts is there's all this fucking crazy gear that has 4 steps too many to get anything done, and it just makes me wish I had all my own gear and I was just way faster anyways. The experience, commercial studio is bigger and harder to use, therefore feels physically more comfortable, although creatively more stifling. That's a very succinct answer. And in a home studio, I am extremely familiar and comfortable with every piece of gear and software in my studio, so it's very creatively freeing, and a simple frictionless workflow. Small space means physically uncomfortable with multiple people. Cool. Last question here, and then there's a little optional vibe. When planning for the future, do you see yourself keeping the current personal setup and improving what you do? How we pray people do? Oh, what? I mean, my dream would be to. I mean, in a couple weeks, so this will be, you know, its own studio. The only thing is that it won't be like super. I can't be as loud as I want. Like, I don't think anyone lives on this other side of the wall right now, so I can be pretty loud. That side is the living room, that side is the bathroom, and then the other bedroom, so it's literally just that wall I have to worry about. I don't think anyone lives there right now, so I can be kind of loud, but I do have downstairs neighbors, so I could be loud or with a sub or anything like that. The only thing is, you know, it would be nice one day to be in a house where there's a home studio, or even like a back house, like a guest house that I convert to a studio. That would be the dream, but not because of gear or anything. It could be cool to have like a drum set and maybe a real piano, but that's just like extra stuff, which is kind of crazy to be like, oh yeah, having a $30,000, even a $20,000, $15,000 piano, it's just like an extra thing. I don't really need it. I mean, it's true. Like, I have really nice piano VSTs. My drums sound pretty good. It would be nice to have the real drum set, but that's not like imperative to my music sounding good. It's just like, if somehow I have the space and the money to do that, like, cool. I'm totally fine leaving this earth having a studio that doesn't have a drum set or that doesn't have a real piano. In fact, I'm not even, when I convert this into the studio, I'm not gonna really buy any new like recording gear. I'm gonna buy some new instruments, mostly like weird glitchy synth box gears, It's not gonna make my music any better. It's gonna feel more fun for me. It's gonna feel more unique. I might be able to have a unique flair on my sound because I'm doing like, you know, different types of things with pedals and things like that. And I do want to buy a cello and a violin and kind of start recording that on my stuff because I finally have one. But I'm not gonna buy like a new mic. You'd think I would. I just don't really care. I'm not gonna buy a new interface. If I do buy a new interface, it's just to have better routing for like headphones and stuff. I think everything I'm doing sounds fine, you know. Other people like it. Other people keep coming to me. Other huge artists keep coming to me because they like what I'm doing. So yeah, I don't like need any other gear when it comes to that. I just would like more space and a more comfortable place to be in. When planning for the future, do you see yourself keeping the current personal stuff? I will be converting my bedroom into a full proper studio in a couple weeks, which just means taking out my bed and putting in couches for more to have more room for people in the session. That's really it. I don't prefer to work with more confusing gear than is necessary. I'd say like it could be cool, like maybe way down the future, to have the outboard gear with the compressors and stuff. And I guess I would know how to use it really well if I actually owned it and I knew how it was like plugged in and all the leveling and all that. But it's kind of just like whatever to me. Like I don't really care. I don't even feel like, you know, if a producer comes over and or an artist comes over and they're like, this is all you have, it's not even whatever. Like I'm lucky enough that I have like some motion behind my name that I don't think people question what gear I use right now. I never questioned what gear I use. I knew the music I made was fucking sick. I didn't care if I was using a potato to record. If I made it sound good, then that's it. Optional. Is there anything? Oh, hold on. Let me get back to this email because I think I might have fucked up. There's this optional question. I think there was more questions than I had actually. Yeah, that's it. Optional. Is there anything important about home studios that musicians and producers often overlook? I would say no. I think something that is overlooked, but not often overlooked. Yeah, gear doesn't matter hardly at all. You can get a solid recording set for $300 type shit. You could literally buy my setup for the mic is $60. How much is the UA Volt 2? Yeah, the Volt 2 is $180. This mic's like $80. So that's $250 right there, and then you need the cables to put it together. And then so they'll call it $300, and then these headphones. These headphones are almost $100, so call it $400. You could steal my setup for $400. You would need Reaper, which is free, but you could use Ableton. Just use Ableton, bro. Ableton and Splice. You're good to go. Yeah, that's what's up. I guess Ableton's like $200 or $300. You could use Reaper and learn to use it. I don't advocate Reaper for first-time users, but whoa! Thanks for the $10. Just contributing to the pizza fund. I gotta change these little emojis that come up, or whatever they're called. I have some cool stuff that we can do. Some stuff I use in the Discord we could use for this. Yeah, is there anything important about home studios and producers often overlook? Thanks, by the way, for the $10. That's very nice of you. Even GarageBand and headphones. Yeah, dude, deadass. Is there anything important about home studios that musicians and producers often overlook? No, I would say it's fun making music where you feel safe. It's convenient having a studio where you live and not driving somewhere. I think some people might like going somewhere else to do studio stuff, which part of me does like that. But what grossly is way worse is driving to get there. If it's 15 minutes away, I just had a session, and then I have to drive back home for some reason. Within that 15 minutes, my brain just shuts down because I'm like, creative, boom, 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 making songs so fast, blah, 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 we're making energy's flowing. And then my brain finally turns off when I drive home. And I'm like, as soon as I get home, I'm like, I'm dead. I can't do anything. But if I was at home and the session's over, I can just be like, okay, bye. And then just like get some food and just like, I don't know, keep like the energy going, I guess. So that's it. I use FL and Ableton mostly. I can absolutely see the benefit of Reaper. Get you free web. Yeah, I mean, I thought about making like a don't use Reaper as your first DAW, but if you do, here's how you should do it, you know? Because I genuinely, so many people ask because they're like, oh, I love what you do in Reaper, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you can do that in any DAW. I just happen to be using Reaper. That's what's up. All right, Nathan. I have answered the questions. Thanks for asking. Thanks for the curiosity. That's very very cool and nice of you. I'm glad you dig what I'm doing. And that's what's up. What if it's my third DAW? Yeah, Reaper, my first one was technically GarageBand, making beats in GarageBand. And it was FL Studios, making beats in FL Studios. And it was Mixcraft, doing my recording rock stuff on Mixcraft because I couldn't record with FL because at the time you needed to buy it. And then after Mixcraft was Pro Tools. And then after Pro Tools was Reaper. So Reaper is my fifth. Type shit. Okay, did I have like some other emails about this or whatever? Cool. I'm gonna try to find someone DM me like a question, like a big question about all this stuff. And I want to see if I could answer those. Someone was asking about me producing stuff and all that. And I had like very like, you know, I get questions all the time in my DMs, but these were like super fucking specific. Okay, I am gonna copy them into a doc because I don't want to fucking doc someone they didn't want to be talked about. So here, I got these questions and I'll sort of answer them and then text back type shit. And then I might take a break. And then, yo, what's up, Scro? A quick hello and congrats on all your success. Thank you, bro. Some people have great ideas and their skill level really suffers when actually cleaning up a project. Yeah, for sure. You got it, and Frank. Fun questions. I got these ones now. Okay, let's go through these, and then I'll take a break, and then I'm gonna produce some for my friend. Please hydrate. All right. Here we go. This is from someone. Oh, there I go. Going straight to the fucking thing. Yo, what is this? Gifted a sub tier? Oh, let's go. Thank you, dude. I really appreciate that. That's super nice. Next show in Austin? I'm not sure, but it will happen eventually. I'll say that. Will happen eventually. Oh, is my thing frozen? Like... it looks like the fucking... Yeah, like, is my Mac even showing up? Oh no. This is not really a big deal. At least I could do for helping me out. Appreciate you, dude. You rock. I hope I was able to shine a light on some things for surely. Okay, here goes my MacBook fucking not working again. That is sick. Oh yeah, it's because it's different now. It is video capture device. Ah! Bruh. I think I'm the last person on this fucking earth who still says bruh. Can't stop it, dude. Just perfectly fits. Oh, cool. This isn't working either. That's awesome. Let's see. Boom. Alright. Here we go. Wait a second. Average Mac. What is average Mac? What do you mean? I'm streaming on a Windows. So I don't know if that's what you're mentioning. Okay, Scro, I just want to reach out and tell you how much I love your work. Julia Wolf's Pressure is one of my favorite albums ever, and I'm such a fan of your solo work. Fuck yeah. Thank you, dude. My name... Oh, I shouldn't fucking say that. I guess it's fine if people know the name. I live in Australia, and I've always dreamt of making music of my own that I can be proud of. Currently, I'm a beginner at guitar, but I have hundreds of pages of songwriting poetry. It helps me navigate hard times and process emotions. Okay, I'm glad that you're able to have that outlet. Now, some questions if you have the time to kindly reply. Oh, why is my computer running low? What? Hold on. Why is my... This will help it charge faster or something. I guess we'll find out. Now some questions if you have the time to kindly reply. When it comes to producing your music, what are some things you focus on? Keep in mind. Now she did say when it comes to producing your music, so I'm going to take this as a Scro question, not a me producing for someone else. What are some things you focus on? Keep in mind. I try and be creative and unique. I put myself in a space of when I'm on SoundCloud and I'm hearing crazy things I've never heard of before. When I'm on Discord and people are sending in submissions and I'm hearing really cool new underground sounds. When I'm listening to playlists on Spotify, what I think would jump out to me, ideas that I think would be cool and fun. What's music that I want to do that no one else has done, and how can I do that in a way that is fun for me? Those are the things that I focus on and keep in mind. I also, of course, have like a sort of a palette, a creative palette, a creative taste that I stick with. Of course, there's guitar sounds, synth sounds, sampling sort of ideas that I think are very Scro, and at this point I kind of lean into them a little bit because I realize that's my sound, and people also come to me for that certain sound. But at the same time, it's sort of a, I don't know, something to paint the canvas on, not the painting itself, you know. Tyler Joseph at least originally wrote poems that he turned into songs, so that's a really good start. Cool. That's how Julia starts her songs. She's very much a songwriter though. Or for her, it's the songs that it starts with those, and then we produce music around that. I personally don't do that. Which maybe I should start, because I feel like, you know, it's got to be a good song first off. And if you're just like making a crazy beat or a crazy instrumental and you write a song over it and it sucks, you're like, okay, now what do I do with this instrumental? I just wasted all that time. And I could have just made the song first, realized that it sucked, and cut my losses and just moved on. But I don't know. I also don't make pop music, like pop, you know. So when it comes to producing your music, what are some things you focus on, keep in mind? I keep in mind what are some cool, unique things I can bring to the scene in this song. Whether it's sounds, chords, rhythms, something new that I think would excite teenage Scro or excite the SoundCloud crate diggers of the world. Sure. How do you achieve the digital sound effect beats? Lots of your production reminds me of an old school video game. It depends exactly what you mean. It could be like just a filter, like being lossy or bit crushing. It could be like when I'm like hard cutting samples, just like resampling. I would say a big part of it is that like I kind of approach everything like a dance music track, like a bass music track, where I'm not afraid to get sounds outside of, you know, if it's like a metal song, but I'm like, I'm gonna treat this like a bass music track and just get cool weird sounds that you might not hear from all that, you know, like I just kind of go for it. So how do you achieve? I'm gonna say depends on exactly what you mean. I use a plugin called MAME and Digitalis to help get certain digital lossy tones. I treat my favorite productions like it's bass music, basically club music, DJ music, and try to not think about anything other than cool sounds and cool rhythms and cool chords. Do you hear a finished production in your head while writing? When you're producing a song, how do you know what sounds belong and what don't? I would say honestly a lot of do you hear a finished production in your head while writing? So I think this is assuming that I start with lyrics, which I don't. If someone's bringing me a song they've already written, I can kind of cycle through some different ideas in my head. But I have like a general idea, but I don't stick to it too hard because I know whatever's in my head, I'm not gonna be able to like 100% do that. So I just kind of have a general idea and just like do whatever. When you're producing a song, how do you know what sounds belong and what don't? That's where it comes to your taste. Some would say sounds don't belong, while others might think they do. There's certain techniques and sounds that I do that are kind of tried and true, and I think will always sound good. So sometimes I'll revert to those if I'm having a tough time. But yeah, it just comes down to taste. So, do you hear finished product in your head while writing? I don't start a song with the lyrics. I personally start it with the instrumental for my own music. If someone is coming to me with an already written song looking for production, I will have a general idea of the feel and soundscape that I want, but I won't cling to it too tightly because I know it's impossible to 100% accurately produce the exact sounds and production in my head. I use it as a template and then use my taste and personal aesthetic choices to get me to the finish line. I'm not afraid to delete sounds and instruments if I think they don't sound good, or completely rework a song if I realize what I'm doing doesn't instantly excite me anymore. How do you know what sounds belong? I know what sounds belong or don't belong because of my personal taste. Some might think a sound belongs, others might think it doesn't. I trust my judgment and creative vision that as long as I think it's cool, others will too. It takes a while to build that taste and curation and have it meet your personal technical abilities as well. I have little to no production knowledge. Where do you recommend I start? Ableton. Remake songs and watch YouTube tutorials all day long. Pick up your computer and do exactly what they're doing. The same way you would practice guitar for an hour a day if you want to be pro. Well, hopefully 4 hours a day. You want to be good. You should be doing that with your computer. Alright, I answered him. There we go. Oh, whoops. I just fucking, whatever. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up, guys. Answered a lot of friggin' questions today. I think I'm gonna take a break for a little bit. I'm gonna drink, have some food, figure out what to do with that. I don't know if I'll stream when I make this next thing for my friend. It would be nice too, but I think I need some time to dig myself into a hole and just do some of my own shit for a little bit. Anyways, thanks for coming in. Thanks for all the donations and the subs. That's really sick of you guys to do. Cool Sunday stream. I need to tell you guys an important date. April 10th. April 10th. I will catch you guys later. Enjoy April 10th because it will be a good day to enjoy. And I will catch you guys later. Peace out.